So how do you get docAppender to work? The first thing you need to do is create a folder. I'm just going to call this one Big Project. So think of this as your, whatever the project is called in your classroom. This is what you would name the folder. Click Create. So I'm going to open up the Big Project folder. I'm going to create a series of Google Docs that the students are going to input their information into. I'm just going to generically call them like group 1, 2, 3, and 4. Another pro tip you could say is creating a header. So this would show up in all the docs. So then when the kids later review their information, they're going to have a good idea of kind of what this is for. So I'm going to go back to our folder that we created for our big project. And I'm just going to right click on this and make a copy of it. So that way I've got the header there as well. But I need 4 of them because I have 4 groups. So I'm going to make a copy so I have 4 total documents to work with. I'm going to rename this. So I've renamed all my docs. So I have a document for all the groups. The next thing I want to do is create a form. Think of this as the form the kids are going to be inputting information into. So just set it up like you traditionally would. So I've set up my form. And we'll get to this in a second. I've got my last name, my first name, information you found. So maybe this is where they're researching something and then they're going to be inputting information here so they can curate a number of good chunks of information that they're going to decipher later on, figure out what it means in the big picture. So now that I've got this figured out, I need to go up here to my add-ons and I don't want to go to docAppender. If you don't have docAppender yet, if you click on the ice cream cone in the upper right hand corner and you go to add-ons, this is where you can search for and add docAppender right there. So if I click docAppender, open in sidebar, the first step is to pick the folder that we had just created for this project. There it is, called Big Project. Select that. It will appear here and we click next. Now it doesn't show anything I could select, so that's where you have to click refresh list. Then we can go back here and choose select your group. Now watch the magic appear right over here. So what it did is went into the folder and pulled these names of the Google Docs. So when I click group 1, all the information that I enter will be applied directly to the group 1 Google Doc. I'm going to click next. These are the things that will be recorded. So I'm just going to, for fun, I'm going to say all of these. So the responses I want in a separate vertical table, enable. Now everything's ready to go and I can close the sidebar. At this point, I want to share the form with the kids so they can start filling it out. But let's take a look at what this really does. So here we are. I've got my big project. I found some, I'm group 1, found some resources. So here we go. I've interpreted what I found. I've entered it into this form. I click submit and I'm good to go. Now check out what it does. I'm group 1, so it takes all that group 1 information. We'll timestamp it. Here's the group that I'm in, the student's name, and anything that they've entered into the form is going to appear here. The next student, their information will be entered in a card directly below this. So the idea is, instead of having the kids look at something like this, which isn't really user-friendly, they're able to see everything in a nice, neat, and orderly card.